Hey everybody, this is Dr. Maples. Today I want to talk about your first semester in college. I know for a fact your first semester is always going to be one of the most difficult semesters you have. It's new faces, new places, new everything. And on top of that, statistically, you're more likely to drop out that semester than any other. In fact, if I can get you through that first semester, the chances are very high that you're going to finish your degree. That's my hope today. I want to offer you 5 proven tips to help make your first semester in college an easier semester than it would have been otherwise. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get started. All right, today we're doing 5 tips to make your first semester of college just a little bit easier. This first one's going to surprise you. First day of class, all your professors are going to be handing you something called a syllabus. My first tip is I want you to get all of those syllabi and hold on to them because they're important and they tell you tons of information about your class. A syllabus is a contract between you and your professor, and it tells you everything that you're going to be doing in the class and how they're going to give you a grade. It's got simple stuff like where your professor is in terms of their office, their email, their phone, how to get in touch with them. It has class policies. It has the stuff that you're going to be doing every week. It even says how you're going to get a grade. The reason, though, that syllabi are so important is that they have all the information that you're probably going to have as a question about this class. So before you write your professor, you can look through this syllabus, see if your answer's in there, and you're going to have it ready right there, and you're not going to have to wait for them to get back with you. In short, I always suggest taking your syllabus and putting it in a very safe, protected space like a file, or even just putting it with a magnet on your refrigerator. But always know where your syllabus is, and you can always use that to get information about your class. Trust me, it's going to make your life easier. Now, my second tip is something that you can do the moment you arrive on campus. You've moved into your dorm? Check. You've locked the door? Check. Let's go explore this campus and find our happy place. Your happy place is going to be where you're going to study, you're going to work, you're going to write. This is an important place on campus. Now, these can be really tricky to find because campuses can be noisy places. And that's why we're also going to leave our dorm to find our happy place because I know dorms are just far too noisy to be a great studying environment. So, what I want you to do is explore the campus. You can start at the library, the cafes, museums. Look around on your campus and find a space that has a couple of characteristics that you can kind of quietly claim as your own and make that your happy place. Now, characteristics for your happy place include really good lighting, predictable access, maybe it's open 24 hours a day or certainly at least open in the afternoons and evenings, a place that you're allowed to be, sneaking into professors' offices because that would be weird. Also a place, too, that has great Wi-Fi, a place that's near a bathroom, ideally near snacks and allows snacks to be in that space. And on top of that, a space that is safe. And safety is an important part of college campus life. I'd be glad to do a video about that if you're interested. Leave me a comment below. But all of these characteristics make for a happy place. Your happy place is where you're going to go write lots of papers over the next 4 years. You're going to read lots of books. You're going to study things and learn stuff that you never knew. And because you have a happy place, you have a place that you can come to time after time after time that's going to be safe, dependable, and most importantly, quiet that you can work at. And here's a cool thing, too, for my brain and possibly for your brain, too. But when you have a happy place and you get in a habit of going to that same space over and over to study, your brain will start saying, oh, we're in our happy place. We need to study. And so all of a sudden, your brain's right on board with everything that you're going to do. Maybe that's just my problem. But find a happy place, stake it out, make it yours. Everything's going to be great. Now, for tip 3, I want you to learn to be a name and not a face. These big campuses can have thousands and thousands of people on them. And on top of that, you may have 300 people in your 100-level gen ed classes. It's really hard for you as a student to develop a working relationship with your professors in these settings. But one of the easy and great things that you can do is make a habit of introducing yourself. First day of class, walk up afterwards and just shake their hand and say, hey, my name is such and such. I'm really excited to be in your class and I just wanted to introduce myself. And that conversation will last 10 seconds, but you've introduced your first and last name into their mind. And you know what? Maybe down the line you're sending them an email and maybe that will help them remember you. Likewise, it sets up the tone for having a conversation. Maybe they'll want to say more. It's like, oh, what brings you to this class? And you can just say, well, I'm interested in this topic, or, well, it's one of my gen ed classes and I think it's interesting. Whatever you want to say. Maybe you got a really cool story or a connection to this class. But these are some of the things that will help you make a connection in your class. It also is all about tricking your brain into feeling more comfortable introducing yourself, because as you go around campus, you're going to have multiple opportunities to introduce yourself. In fact, we'll talk a little bit more about those in just a moment. But by doing this on the first day of class, you can kind of set up a tone for having a working relationship with a professor. If this class is in your major, this is an especially effective thing to do because you need to have contacts with those professors. In fact, let's talk a little bit more about our majors in tip 4. Hey, now before we go on to tip number 4, can I ask you something? Are these videos helping you? Are you getting some useful information? I hope you are. I've been a professor for 10 years and I've got so much information that I want to share with my students. So take this information and use it. That makes me happy. I want your college experience to be a little easier than mine. But what would also help me is if you could subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave some comments below, let me know I do a good job because I need reinforcement just like you. And if you could share this video with your friends, that would be huge. Letting other people know about this channel is going to help me help everyone. So if you could do that, I'll keep making these videos. All right, let's get back to tip number 4. I'm here to say tip number 4 is probably the hardest one on this list, but it's so valuable, and it's this. Get involved with your major the first day. That can be meeting your faculty, reaching out to them and saying, hey, are there major clubs that I can attend? Is there a major orientation event or a new introduction event for folks? Is there a first-year cohort for my major? What can I do to meet other majors? This is a really important part of learning to do what we call cohorting. Finding a group of people that you can work with for the next couple of years, and sometimes even beyond, to help support each other, to help grow as students, and most importantly, get to the graduation stage. So reaching out to your faculty is a great starting point for that. Likewise, you could reach out to the department chair where your major is located. Here's the thing though, a lot of you don't have majors. And that makes this a little more complicated. There's nothing wrong with not having a major the first day of campus. In fact, I changed my major several times before I settled on sociology near the end of my major. What I would suggest is if you don't already have a major, look over to the people that are your first year cohort folks, probably from like a first year orientation class, or maybe even just some other first year people that you've met. This is going to help you get involved in student activities, because student activities are how you're going to make friends, they're how you're going to meet people, they're how you're going to find study buddies, and more. So if you got a major, reach out and find out what kind of activities they have. And if you don't, look to your first year class. Those are going to help you find other people in the same situation. And if you can't find either of those, check with your dorm's RA. Your resident may actually have some opportunities they can suggest, some people they could introduce you to in the dorm, and more. But ask and find out some of these opportunities so that you can meet people. See, I told you this was the really hard one, but I promise this is going to pay huge dividends. And I promise number 5 is going to be way easier. So you got that to look forward to. I promised number 5 would be easy, and it is. It's simply this. Attend events on campus so that you can get free food. I know, that's a thing. I was blown away as a college student when I showed up at an event at the College of Law, and they were giving out pizzas. And there were 16 students, and they had 25 pizzas, and I took a whole pizza home for myself, as well as like 5 sodas. That's on top of the stuff that I ate while I was there. Campuses have free events all the time. Almost every night of the week, you can find something happening on campus. And a lot of these events, are you ready for this, have free food, snacks, sodas, pizza, and more. So what I want you to do is start watching for posters around campus. Look at the bulletin boards talking about events that are happening, especially those first couple of weeks, so that you can meet other people like in step 4 and also get to know some of the stuff that's happening around campus. Watch your daily emails from your university. My university sends out an email every morning, first thing, that says, these are all the things happening on campus this week. And here's the information about how you can go to these and when they are and where they are. And a lot of times it'll even say snacks provided. So find these free events, find the free food, and introduce yourself. become a familiar face. In fact, for me, this was actually how I made some friends on campus, was going to these free events, claiming that free pizza and sodas, but also meeting people while I was there. And to be honest, I learned a lot going to these events because often it would be amazing events, amazing speakers coming to campus, and there might be 15 students there. So I had a chance to meet really famous scholars in my field and talk to them, and even on a rare occasion go out and have a beer with them afterwards because I was one of the few people that showed up. So keep this in mind. Find out what those free events are and claim that pizza because you deserve it. So there we go, folks. I've given you 5 things that I know are going to make your first semester easier. Look, it's a hard semester. I get it. The university wants you to be on that campus and to succeed. They're going to do everything they can to keep you there, support you, and make sure that you can find a home on this campus. If you ever need help, reach out to your faculty, reach out to your university, reach out to their mental health programs, and more if you need support. Because the campus wants you there, they want you healthy, they want you in classes, and they want you to graduate. And I do too, by the way. So let me know where I can support you. If you have other tips that you'd like to suggest, leave them in the comments for folks below. And if there's a video I can do for you, let me know. I'm happy to do them. All right, that's all I got for you today, folks. We'll see you next time. Take care.